Facts on Humans #1. Let's do this, YouTube. John Malcolm Thorpe Fleming Churchill, or as we'll come to know him in this fact-driven piece on his life, Mad Jack, was born on the 16th of September 1906. He travelled with his parents in his early life around the world, including Hong Kong, before finishing his education at the King William's College on the Isle of Man. It was here, while studying, that his friends introduced the nickname Jack. After school, he spent 10 years in the Manchester Regiment of the British Army and saw action in Burma. He left the army in 1936 to become the editor of a newspaper in Nairobi and a male model, as you do. During these years, he won acclaim for coming second in the bagpiping world military competition and represented the UK in the 1939 archery championships in Oslo. This is all rather interesting and solid facts, I'll have to admit. However, it is what happened next in his life which made him the focal point of my first video. Jack re-enlisted in the army after Germany invaded Poland, and in 1940 found himself in a tower preparing to attack a German unit. Jack told his men that he would signal for the attack to start by striking the first German with an arrow. So he drew his bow and stayed true to his word. This was the last recorded instance of a bow and arrow being used during a battle in the UK military. And yes, you heard me right, a bow and arrow in World War II. You see, Jack was now known as Mad Jack, or Fighting Jack Churchill. When it came to battle, he said, "Any officer who goes into action without his sword is improperly dressed." Look at the picture on the screen now. You can see Jack on the right hand side of it, wielding a sword as they head up the beach. During a raid of a German garrison at Vagsøy, Norway, name badly pronounced, apologies for that, Mad Jack's landing craft was first. He jumped to the front as the craft's ramp lowered, playing March of the Cameron Men on his bagpipes, before hurling a number of grenades and running into battle. For his efforts here and at Dunkirk, he received the Military Cross and Bar. In 1943, whilst fighting in Italy, he snuck into a village with one other man and took 42 German soldiers prisoner, including a mortar team. He lost his sword during hand-to-hand combat securing the position, and being Mad Jack, snuck back into the village the next day to retrieve it. He was captured in 1944 in a typical Mad Jack way. Whilst launching an attack in Yugoslavia, only Jack and 6 other men made it to the objective. A mortar strike killed or injured all the other men aside from Jack, who took up playing "Will You No Come Back Again" on his bagpipes as the Germans advanced. He was knocked unconscious by grenade blasts and taken into captivity as a POW. That's him on the right, the day after he was captured. After a number of escape attempts, he was transferred to a camp guarded by the SS, and was saved from execution by German guards, who stepped between the men and the SS when the war seemed lost. When the war ended, Jack returned to England and as a fighting man became a bit bored. He travelled to Australia to help with military training, and whilst there was fascinated with the surfers he saw out in the water. Upon his return to England, he noticed a wave which broke on spring tides running up the River Severn. This was a tidal bore, and Jack, being Mad Jack, designed his own surfboard and became the first person ever to surf it. He finally let his age catch him up a bit and took an office job with the military, though still living up to his name by shocking his fellow rail passengers by throwing his suitcase out the train each evening. He later explained it was into his own back garden and meant he didn't have to walk back carrying it. He retired to Surrey, England as a lieutenant colonel. Jack died on the 8th of March 1996 in his 89th year, and what a truly eventful life. I mean, why has there not been a film made about this chap? Seriously, from travelling around Africa to the war to surfing a 5-foot tidal bore on his own in the 50s. Quite the adventurer. So, I hope you liked this video. It's my first one I've ever done. Any tips, comments, or what to improve, or interesting people you'd like to see researched, let me know. Am I meant to ask for thumbs up or subscriptions at this point? I'm not really sure. I'm very new to this. But you know what? I'll just try and get another video done in a week or so.